Ladies and gentlemen, start those diesels. This is Keep on Truckin', a brand new podcast geared towards you, the trucking enthusiast. Keep on Truckin' is presented by Image Wash Products, specializing in hardware and chemicals designed to keep your big rigs looking like they just came off the lot. Check out Image Wash Products at washproduct.com. That's washproduct.com. If you're into trucking, if you're into diesels, if you're into hitting the open road, then this is the podcast for you. And regardless of why you're here, we're sure glad you came. So strap up that seatbelt and let's get into today's episode. I'm your host, Kirk Ross, coming at you from Grand Rapids, Michigan, reminding you to always keep on trucking. Let's start the show. Okay, well, folks, this is the first episode ever of the Keep on Truckin' podcast presented by Image Wash Products. And I'm here today with the founder of Image Wash Products, who happens to be my boss as well. I do some sales work for Image Wash Products. Todd, thanks for coming up.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
So, Todd, everyone wants to know, is it Kaptein or Kaptein?
Kaptein. You can say it any way you want, but yeah.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah, tomato is correct. So,
right. So what you're going to learn about Todd is he's a humble guy. He's not fussy. He doesn't care how you pronounce his name. Todd, let's talk a little bit about your background before you got to Image Wash Products, which you founded, how many years ago now?
I would say 2018, it kind of originated. I've been on my own since 2015. So, yeah, I would say we're going on 4.5 years strong.
Okay, so we're nearing 5 years. It's grown a lot in that time. Things have changed a lot in that time, but you're the common element, and as well as the products that we're selling are common from when you started. So let's hear a little bit about your background. You're a trucker at heart. Mm-hmm. How did that happen?
Yeah, I would just say it all started when I was very young. If you want to go to the nitty-gritty of why I like semis, my dad was in the refrigeration business, so I would go with him on Saturdays to the shop, and he always had trucks there. And typically he would say, here's the keys, go play around in them, have some fun, pretend you're truck driving. So we kind of did that. And then I would say as the years progressed, I just always enjoyed seeing them as a little kid, all the way up to my high school years.
Yeah.
And then once I graduated, I did some construction jobs for a while, and ended up finding a buddy that worked for a company local hauling produce. So he asked if I wanted to try that. So I did a couple night runs and got my CDL, and just kind of fell in love with it that way. So I'd say I drove off and on from, 98 to all the way up till 2015. So
okay, so you put in 17 years as a full-time driver.
There was a couple years span where I would try something else. That's part of my shame is I tried a lot of different things, and I always kept getting pulled back to the trucking because I guess I didn't want to admit to myself that I'm really good at it, but I didn't like being gone a lot either. But that's part of the business. So
yeah, well, we've talked about this a lot, but a lot of the folks watching and listening won't have heard this before. But what was your philosophy when you were driving? Like, what was your routine? And I imagine, because I know you now, that you kept your equipment clean back then, even though you maybe didn't own your own truck yet. How did that all look? What did a typical day run look like for you?
Typical day when I truck drove, very structured. I didn't have a checklist. I did in my mind, but basically made sure the truck was prepared to go, do your post and pre-trip inspection to it. Just made sure the inside was always clean, the outside.
Did you eat in your truck?
Once in a while I would, but normally no.
Yeah.
There was a no eating or smoking rule in the truck. So there are times though when you're up at 2 or 3 in the morning and you got to stay awake. So you got to do something.
Right.
But I guess I was the driver, so I could get away. I could use my trump card on that one. So.
Yeah, right. Were you pulling reefer trucks usually during that time?
I've done a lot of different things. I'd say I started in the reefer business, and then I did some flatbed for my dad, and then a lot of dry van stuff. So kind of done it all. I
Yeah.
did some train work, hauling dirt and stuff. Tried that after I got married. I wanted to be home more, so took a local job doing that.
So that was more of like a daily run or something with
Yeah.
less travel.
Yep. Yeah, it's a total mindset game when it comes down to it. If I had to choose right now, I'd definitely choose out of state
Yeah.
stuff. My mind's built to where you just tell me where I got to get to, and I like the challenge of navigating through towns, weather conditions,
Yeah.
and yes, just meeting new people. I love that opportunity. So
Yeah. So what's the pay structure? Is the pay what's the best paying routes? At least when you were actively driving.
when I actively did it, I did hourly, but also when I was over the road, it was by the mile.
Yeah.
And then you got paid per drop. If you had furniture blankets, you got paid to fold those. A lot of things have changed in the industry now, so I think guys benefit a little more if they have downtime or waiting time.
Yeah.
We never really got paid for that, but the industry has definitely changed on that. So
Yeah, a lot more regulation these days, and
yeah, and just the fact that I think companies understand that these guys and gals are, when they're sitting their downtime, that's less time that they are from their home or wherever they want to be. So in reality, yeah, you should get compensated for that.
Yeah, so it's more, if you're sitting at a dock for 4 hours, you're still away from your family whether you're driving or not.
Yep, you got e-logs nowadays, so, and I mean, that's a waste of their day, right? If they don't get an option to make those hours up, so they got to get paid somehow.
Yeah, because at a certain amount of time, how does that all work? At a certain amount of time, they're no longer allowed to drive that day? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I don't know the exact rules anymore, but when I was on there, it was a 14-hour day, 11 hours driving, and 3 hours on duty, but taking a service break or whatever you're doing. So
yeah.
But I'm not sure the ins. I've never ran an e-log before.
Well, hey, this is a good opportunity to let you know if you're listening. This is a trucking podcast, all things trucking. We can, if you're interested, and you want to talk about what the 2023 version of trucking looks like and what all the e-logs are, hit us up. You can find us at washproduct.com. You can also find a lot of good products there. Before we get to washproduct.com, though, and image wash products in general, it's 2015-ish is
15, yep.
So 2015, you started to kind of pivot a little bit into the detailing, polishing, and mobile wash game, right?
Correct.
And what did that look like at first?
That was very scary. Yeah. Except the company that I was working for, and just give a shout out to them. That was VMAX.
Yeah.
And Dave in Heitzma, he's the owner. He was willing to allow me to take a day off to start my own mobile. I started doing mobile fleet washing, and I didn't have a big clientele, so I was able to drive 4 days a week and then do that 1 day a week.
Really nice.
And as I accumulated more customers and so on, then I started backing down from driving. And he was aware of it, and I was, and it was a mutual understanding. So to me, it was very helpful, and I'm very much appreciated for that part of it. But yeah, so I started doing that, and then I kind of grew that, and I'd say by 2017, the end of it, I made up my mind to sell the wash division because the detail part really started taking off.
Oh, okay. So you moved out of the mobile part of it.
Yeah, it made sense for me to do everything in-house. I was doing a lot of RVs, and then started doing a lot of truck polishing. So it required a lot of my time. I didn't do it out in the shop or mobile.
Yeah.
I did it in-house all the time. So that's kind of how it started.
So you have a keen eye for detail. I know that when we go to what's the name of this?
St. Ignace?
St. Ignace truck. What is the name of that? Richard Crane Memorial.
Richard Crane Memorial, yeah.
So I know that when we're up at the Richard Crane Memorial in St. Ignace every September, any polishing work that you've done gets a lot of eyes on it. People, honestly, it does look nice, but I have a hard time differentiating between great and really good. But you get a lot of comments when people come by that, who did this polishing? So what do you like about that? About the hard, laborious task of making something perfect?
Yeah, it's more of the reward factor. Not necessarily a pat on the back from people, which is very nice.
Right.
But it's more internal in my mind. I like to take something that is very dull and not shiny and refurbish it and make it shine like no tomorrow. So
Yeah.
it to me, I consider it like artwork. It's someone's signature on it. There's a 1,000 different polishers out there and 1,000 different ways to skin a cat or polish a truck.
Yeah.
And the guys that really are on top to me are the ones that are very attention to their detail.
Yeah.
But they also understand what's going on while they're doing it. So
Yeah, I can imagine you can lose a lot of time even if your best intentions are there, but if you're not doing it right, you're never going to get there.
yeah, I don't even want to think of what I have in frustrations. I remember my first incident when I started, and I want to say I polished the back of a tank, an end cap I call them. I bet you I polished that thing at least 20 times, and I could not figure it out. And that's when I called up Evan Stugger at Evans Detail and Polish.
Okay.
He was giving training courses. So I went out there and he helped correct some of my mistakes. And I remember when I went there and talked to him, he said that I'm going to show you what to do. You're going to pretty much remember most of it, but it comes down to me giving you the foundations and then you work off that. So
Just practice makes perfect, I'm sure.
pretty much you gotta put effort into it to get a perfect finish. So
what are you managing the thermal, like the heat element of it all, or what are the key mistakes young polishers make?
I think it comes down to technique is one thing, and in detailing you'll learn that your most important part is the first foundational point, and anything that comes after that will either shine or not shine. And that was a struggle for me, is to figure all that out. But like I said, it comes down to pressure, speed, what wheels to use, temperature change. There's a gazillion different types of bars out there, so kind of stick with one and understand what it's doing, and then work your way out to try other people's products.
What products did you end up landing at usually that you use most commonly in polishing?
I started with Zephyr, and then graduated to Renegade, and then now I'm using Menzerna.
Okay.
So Menzerna is I believe a German company, and I believe that they are a little bit advanced in their formulas, and you can get better results. But I will say that when I switched from Renegade to Menzerna, I had to basically relearn everything.
Yeah, new learning curve.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So I tell guys that all the time, whether you're a weekender guy or you're just starting your polish business, just start with the more simpler products to understand it, and then push yourself to go to the next level.
Yeah, walk before you can run a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. So,
well, all of that background sets you up well for what ultimately became Image Wash Products. For a period of time, it was Reflections Wash Products, but we've now graduated to our final name, Image Wash Products, which I think is a great name because, based on what you've told me and which makes sense intuitively, is that if you're going to be hauling loads for people, your truck is your calling card. It's your business card. If it's dirty, who wants to hire you? Right. Yep. So you're at the end of the day, how clean your truck is your image. And I think there's probably maybe there's some spiritual background to image possibly too, but how does that all play together with where did the name Image come from?
Well, Reflections came from sitting in my basement one night trying to figure out a name, and my goal with the company was not to be nationwide. It was literally local, Michigan only.
Yeah.
So that's where that name come from. It reflected, how clean it was, I guess you call it. That's where I came up with it. And then there was a trademark issue, so we had to change it. And the people that were with me at that time in the office, we kind of just all threw names out, and I'm not sure where Image, who came with it, but it's stuck, and it just portrays that nowadays you are a rolling billboard with your company vehicles per se. So why not have a good image and keep it clean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And what separates Image from there's a lot of soap companies out there, but what separates Image, at least from my viewpoint, is that honestly, it's your background. Because of the fact that you drove, because of the fact that you've polished, because of the fact that you've mobile washed, detailed, all of our products are really intended for the trucking market And of course, if you want to wash a car or a truck, that all works as well. A pickup truck, I should say. But if you want to really wash a big rig, Image Wash Products is the place to be because our stuff is priced for that size. And of course, we offer a large lineup of products that are polish safe, which
Correct.
it's quite unique, you know, and especially when we're dealing with some of these heavy two-step acids and bases that typically will smoke glass and all of that. But we found a way through our partnerships with local chemical suppliers to offer polish safe versions of all this stuff.
Yep.
And are most of our chemicals, I know we've added some throughout the last couple of years, but most of the products that we're dealing with on a foundational level are products that you've been using since 2017, 2016 probably, right?
Pretty much when I started. So there's been some upgrades to the formulas, but
Yeah.
the foundation of them is the same. It's just more of the knowledge that I've learned over the years, pushing them to the limits, seeing what they can do. I was always about being efficient, fast, and have a good after product when I was done. So to me, that's kind of what I wanted to do. My vision is to put forth a soap that does really well. Is it the cheapest soap out there? No. We are up in the higher price, maybe, I guess, for some folks, but to me, that you're getting a quality product. But my goal was not just to sell soap, but to give knowledge with it.
Right.
Based on what I've learned over my years. And I don't know everything. I'm just giving you what I know. There's always another faster, quicker way to do it. But to me, if I can get knowledge with something, because no one gave me any knowledge when I started.
Yeah, you were just guessing.
Yep.
Guessing check.
Figure it out, man.
Yeah.
My wife will attest to that. I spent many days in my third stall garage.
Off the clock.
When I should have been working pressure washing, and it was right when I started, so I didn't have a lot of clientele, so there would be a day or two that I would not have anything to do. So I would do sales for a while and then get shot down a lot. So then I would go back home and regroup, and I just started playing around with stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember her yelling out the window all the time, "Hey, don't you have work to do?" I said, "This is work.
This is part of it.
This is foundational pivoting work right here. It'll come back. I promise."
Yeah, and I would say no more than a couple days go by where one of our current clients, which are in the hundreds now, but where one of our current clients doesn't contact me and have some unique situation that they're struggling with, you know, a specific washing situation. And it's always nice to be able to go to you and have you say, "Well, yeah, this is how I would handle that. It just happened yesterday."
Sure. Yeah.
You know, so I think when you do business with us, you're going to get customer support, including things that you don't even know are issues yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're not issues necessarily caused by the soap. They're just issues that come up because you're washing a lot of different equipment that see a lot of different contaminants, and the chemicals interact differently with each of those situations. So that's a nice, I think that's a nice selling point for me is having your expertise. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
I know our customers certainly appreciate that.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know everything, so I'm learning as I go too. But
yeah,
I mean, we're trying our best to put out an awesome product. Easy.
Yeah, and there's been times where we've dealt with customers too that we give our advice and then they do that and they say that worked really well, but we tweaked it a little bit, and then now that's part of all of our knowledge. So it's a really community based. We're just trying to develop as much information and education as we can, and that means that you guys at home and you ladies at home listening and watching are gonna, let's face it, you're probably on the road listening and watching, but you know, if you have better ideas, we're always interested in hearing it too.
We're open.
Yeah, we're open. We're not trying. There's not a lot of pride or ego at this company. That's a big. One of the reasons why I like working here the most.
Yep. Everybody's in it together, right?
Yeah.
The image is a car, and it takes all these intricate parts to get down the road from A to B. So, same thing in trucking. We're just trying to be beneficiary in the industry, and it has its pains. And we're just trying to help people clean better, be more efficient,
right?
Keep it easy. Everybody's got, you only have so much time in your day. So, if you can gain it here and there, it all adds up.
So now we're now at, I believe your first office for what at the time was Reflections was a closet, a janitorial closet.
My office per se was out of my basement in my house.
Okay.
Working off a little table, and then during that I worked out of my dad's shop, and when I was working there polishing trucks, then I had a little closet, and then I bought a couple fives of some soap. And then eventually graduated to 155, and I thought I made it big.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and just bottled it down. And I think I told this on a interview with Adam, an interview with our our website or on Instagram, but I just bottled it down and gave it to guys. I'm like, why wouldn't people want this stuff? Because I tried the McGuire's, the, chemical guys and Turtle and you name it. And they're okay products, but I wanted something better.
Yeah.
And easier to work with and
something geared at trucks.
Pretty much geared at trucks. Those guys are in the car market, which is great. And they've been around for a long time. But I noticed that, you can use it on trucks, but no one was really dedicating time and energy to the trucking industry.
Right.
Which I happen to love. So
yeah, like 16-ounce spray bottles of products don't fly with trucks.
Not very long.
Not when you have 100 times the surface area versus the passenger car. Yeah. Yeah. And so we've now got our office and our loading docks and our fulfillment center and all of that in Zeeland. But I don't know if this is this public knowledge yet?
We haven't told anybody yet, but we're hoping to do like some sort of.
We can wait. We can wait to pull this off. But yeah, so now we're in a much bigger shop. We've graduated to a lot more than a janitorial closet with a couple drums. Now we've got totes and drums and fives and filling machines, and our staff has grown quite a bit. What have been the challenges? It's a big change. It's a big change from going from truck driving to running a one-person business where you really only have to be responsible for yourself, to now having 10 people on staff, not including our detailing side. And what has been a growing pain that's challenged you, but that you've enjoyed getting through, and what kind of lessons did you learn there?
Oh yeah. There's many virtues that I need to learn more, but I'd say the challenge for me is just knowing how to navigate through all the different changes when you add more people. You just got to be able to look at, 1, the books to be able to support it, 2, make sure the sales are there, 3, it's more people, and you try to teach everybody the same morals and ethics, but sometimes people have different ideas, and which is great. I'm open to the think tank,
right?
But just trying to navigate all those, and to me, a big thing would be patience on that.
Yeah.
I grew up in an atmosphere where I was certain jobs I was micromanaged, and I always told myself, if I owned a company, I don't want to run it that way.
Right.
Mike that works with me side by side, we always say freedom with fences. So we try to let you shine in the areas that you're at, and there's still a fence there.
Yeah, you can still you give enough rope, but you can still hang yourself with the rope too. It's like that's the thing. No one wants to micromanage, but there are times where it's the nature of the beast when you got a big team like that. It's just something's got to get done a certain way, whether that person believes it or not. And I'm sure I've been guilty of that, where you felt like you had to micromanage me at times too. It's just kind of the nature of it. But
not necessarily. I hate. You have to manage people because it's part of the business. But at the same time, we're all adults, and we all have different ways of getting to a certain point.
Right.
Some are right, some are wrong. But that was the thing, and like these folks in trucking too. I did not. I was the type of driver that just let me do my thing, and I'll show you that I'll do it well.
Yeah.
And but some people need their hands held on it. I don't know how else to explain it, but
I mean, the reality is most managers will let you do your thing as long as you're getting everything done on time and, as you said, and under budget. And if you do your own thing and it gets done the right way, then no one cares.
Exactly.
But if you do your own thing and then it doesn't get done, then you're gonna have some explaining to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, we try not create any drama in house, but the same thing with driving. These people out there, I don't know what it's like today to work for a big company. Yeah. If I had to go out and do it again, I would probably work for myself, just for more of the challenge side of it. Yeah. I hear it from both ways. Owner-operators say, "Oh, I hate this industry. I can't take it," but they've been doing it for 45 years.
Yeah, and they're making good money too.
Maybe they're burnt out, but there's we're all created different. So there's guys that they're company people, right? They need to be told exactly how to do it, and they need a GPS to get them there. Where there's other guys. When I started, you had literally a roadmap, or someone would write directions.
Yeah, like with land with a star here. Here's a McDonald's here. Yeah,
turn left by that big tree. So okay.
It's like a treasure map.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. I don't see no trees. But so today I'm not saying they have it more catered, but some of those things enables them to not think for themselves.
Right. But you have to admit though, on a busy day at Image where things might not be feeling like they're going perfectly, which happens in business.
Oh, yeah.
You have to have some part of you just wants to get behind a wheel and just hit the road for 20 hours, I bet.
Yeah.
What do you miss the most about the road?
I would say just getting out there and, lots of alone time thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoyed. Seeing the country is beautiful.
Yeah.
You got to deal with traffic and stress like that, but it just all comes down to timing.
Yeah.
Right? You can
That's why you'd hit the road at 3 a.m.
Yeah, you can premeditate a lot of those and avoid a lot of things.
Yeah.
Some things you can't, but.
Well, everyone wants to know, do you have a nickname that you like?
I do at Image. They call me Soap Daddy.
Soap Daddy. I knew this answer. Yeah. I was baiting him. He's the Soap Daddy because this guy is an expert. But even people that have been washing for 30 years will watch him wash and they see his techniques with the little hose whips.
Oh yeah,
it's really something to see. He's the Michael Jordan of washing as well. I'm going to say. I'm not saying there isn't
there is somebody
a Kobe
better.
Bryant out there as well, but at least here in Zeeland, Michigan, this guy is the Soap Daddy. And it's extra funny because it's not a humble name, and he's such a humble guy. So that's why I like it the most. Is it's such a braggadocious name, but I've never heard you refer to yourself as that. It's more of other people referring to you as that. Yeah.
Mike, it's always good morning, Soap Daddy.
That's right.
Yeah. My kids say it now, and
it's catching on.
It's catching on. When he first said it, I was like, oh, I don't know about that one, but yeah.
Well, we just met a Soap Granddaddy too, if I recall.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember last week? I'm not going to name names here. But we had a guy come in from Pennsylvania, and he's been doing it for 40 years, and so that's a Soap Granddaddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the neat thing about it too. Same with truck driving, you get to meet new people and establish relationships. So that's what I like. That's what I like about it. Besides the ups and downs, there's a lot of ups too.
Yeah, of course.
With it, and that's one of them. So. And
I would say just doing business with we deal with a lot of truck wash owners. We deal with trucking company owners, single truck owner operators, or small fleet owner operators. Overall, it's a very good group of people. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of no nonsense. It's not a lot of BSing. Is there some conversations that go on along? Of course, people are passionate about trucking, and that's part of the deal. Yep. But overall, it's an honest group of people that know what it's like to work hard and know what it's like to have bad products and know what it's like to not have clean equipment and how that affects their business. So. What I like most about this job is we're selling products to people that really need it. I'm not trying to sell some snake oil that they don't really need. And, it's like the product sells itself. I'm just trying to get it in their hands in a respectful way. The product in our business should do the talking from that point forward,
Yep.
So it's been really fun. Although you started with a mission of being a local, Zeeland, West Michigan area, then hopefully maybe to Michigan. But now, of course, we're a national brand. Yep. Our website is... A lot of people know us from Facebook. A lot of people know us from our website. Now we're really focusing on growing our business-to-business side, our pro service desk, which is really catering to business owners. Yep. Who are, instead of buying, quarts and gallons or even 5 gallons off the website, they're buying drums and totes. So that's a new set of challenges for us, but it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been fun navigating that and finding what business owners want out of us and out of our products. And I appreciate the flexibility and leverage that you allow us to use to learn. None of us really know exactly what we're doing. We're all kind of figuring it out, right?
You're just kind of throwing crap at the wall and see if it sticks or not.
Right.
So,
and it's nice having the foundational products that we have because we know we can't screw that up. Mm-hmm. The rest of it's just kind of our techniques on how we make it happen. But if you're listening to this, what do you want to hear about on Keep on Truckin'? This is our first episode. You got to meet Todd today, but he'll be back. I think it'd be interesting for us to introduce you to all of the folks at Image Wash Products. It's a relatively small team still, to kind of hear what we're doing behind the scenes, but we'd love to talk to truckers. Really, if anything's peripherally related to the trucking industry, we would love to talk to you. If you're a mobile fleet washer, we'd like to have an interview with you. And at the end of the day, this is free content we're giving out to people. All we ask in return is at least check out washproduct.com. Mm-hmm. And if you're a business owner, there's an opportunity at the website to fill out a form to give us your information or to contact us directly and let us know what pain points you have. That's how we start every phone call. What are your pain points? And then we go to work to figure out how we can solve those for you. We're just about at the midway point, so hopefully you're enjoying the conversation so far. Now's a great time, provided you're off the road, taking a short break, to check out Image Wash Products at washproduct.com. You get all your detailer and pro-grade chemicals so that you can step up your wash game. Thanks for checking that out. Let's get back into this conversation. and then we go to work to figure out how we can solve those for you. Right? That's our motto.
Yep. And with this podcast too, we want to get a lot of the people from the industry in too, and
Yeah.
it's all about knowledge and experience and letting people know. And there's going to be guys starting their own trucking company. There's a lot of guys that have been doing it for a long time. There's really big ones. So to me, it's nice to have some sort of place to go where you can get some knowledge and talk to these people, and they can help you out, tell you what's going on. I don't know a lot in the industry. I'm just on the cleaning side of it. So I never had my own truck where I would run it daily down the road. I have a lot of friends that are owner operators, and I hope to get them on here to
come on.
Yeah.
That's where we're starting. The guest list starts with, if you know Soap Daddy, you're invited.
Yep. Give me a call.
Yep.
You got my number.
Todd's number. That's right.
Oh yeah. Yep, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm certainly excited. We've really done a lot of organizing over the last few months and really getting ourselves ready to grow. And we've grown, but I think 2023 and 2024 are going to be really big years for us. Can't do it without our customers.
Correct.
So if there's issues, if we value transparency here majorly both ways. Mm-hmm. So the last thing I want is a customer that's not happy and doesn't feel comfortable telling me that they're not happy. We haven't had a lot of that, but if you're out there and you're not happy with it, you got to let us know, and we'll do what we can to rectify it and make so that we don't make this mistake again. And that's what we're about here. So
communication comes down to it, right?
That's right.
So don't be afraid of combating or whatever. That's just communicate and work it out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And if you're a truck washer, if you're a mobile fleet washer, if you own your own trucks and you're sick of going to the Blue Beacon, which is a huge company, they do nice work, but your drivers have to stand in line and all of that, we can help you bring a nice wash bay setup into your own internal wash bay, or set up your mobile trailer with what is essentially a wash bay, and we can have you out there two-stepping with polish safe, non-polish safe. We can give you heavy degreasers, regular degreasers, you name it.
Yep.
I think we're in the talks about starting some sort of training element to our business too, where if you're a customer of ours, you can come to our shop, at a set coordinated time, and we can do a kind of what we call two-step U or something like that, or
something Wash University.
Wash
I'm
University.
not sure, but
yeah.
Because that's my hardest thing, is to try to tell people is that when I started, nobody would help me. The people from the manufacturers that make our soap, they were the only ones that, hey, the owner was, he would give me $100 every other time I went in there. He'd take your wife out, your family out for dinner, and it looks like you had a rough day. But just understanding the chemicals and techniques and all that stuff, there's a lot of guys that might be starting their mobile unit, and they're linked up with a different company that is not the greatest.
Right.
That's where I really want to shine forth, and my techniques may not be the best. There's always better. Same thing in the polishing world. Same thing in detailing. There's always different ways, and I always try to push myself to find a better way, or use someone else's if it's going to be more efficient. But even down to the business side of it, my dad didn't teach me nothing.
Right.
And the schools don't teach you a lot either with business, right?
Yeah, it's really get out there. It's baptism by fire to some extent. Yeah.
But all I can tell you is it's a ton of work. And to me, when I look back, I'm thankful for it all. But at the same time, I get sad sometimes because I wasted a lot of time and money.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, so maybe we can help you avoid that. If you're
try.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's our goal, right?
Yeah, but use Todd as an example, though. I mean, I think you were able to work for yourself, by taking some part-time work and figuring things out. So if you're a driver now and you're looking for a little bit of side income, you may not be driving on the weekends. That's a time where you could wash trucks. You already have a bunch of people. That's a good way to get linked up with Image, get some good products, some hardware that'll help you apply the products, and start hustling on the weekend. And, before long, you might be quitting driving if you want to. Those are all options, but
the demand is there.
The demand is definitely there.
Yep.
We know it because every day we're getting calls from fleet washers that can't keep up. Mm-hmm. They're turning down business because there's so much opportunity out there.
Oh yeah.
So no matter what area you're in, I guarantee you can make some money doing it. And if you're a kid, talk about it, some of these chemicals are pretty stringent, corrosive chemicals, but we have some really safe ones as well. And that's a great job to start as a kid. Wash some trucks in your cul-de-sac or whatever. Or wash some people's cars right there in their driveway, you know?
Yep, absolutely.
Easy way to make some money, and you can learn some business skills that you're not going to learn until you do it.
Correct. Yep. But that's kind of where it was just trial and error type deal.
Yeah.
So if I can help you eliminate a lot of those problems, you're going to be better off and further ahead than I was when I first started. So it's all providential. I had to go through it. But yeah, nowadays we have a lot of different platforms that you can give a lot of data and knowledge to people, and it's up to them to read it and study it. And if it's for them, cool. If not, then
that's right.
Go through the pain yourself. So.
Well, what are you most excited about looking forward? It's been almost 5 years now with Image.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're growing. What's coming next, do you think? What's the next big?
To me, just getting more into the commercial side of it, the B2B and retail. Retail is very hard. I thought it was going to be a piece of cake.
Yeah.
But it's not. There's more challenges every year. I think they're just going to continue to compile. Yeah. But yeah, so to me, it's more doing the business to business relationships. There's more of a future there, I think, just because of all the automation that is getting implemented into the day-to-day needs for people.
Right.
So I kind of see that. So I'm not necessarily going to close down anything on the retail store or nothing, but just focus more on that. Yeah. There's a big need for it.
Yeah, there are.
Yep. So that's what I'm learning, and that's what you're learning.
Yeah,
doing it too. You see the pains that some people are going through. So.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people they're still profitable and still doing well, and still not being efficient with their wash game. So that's where we view ourselves as a place that can help you become more efficient and ultimately more profitable, and your equipment will last longer, which is a huge expense in this industry. So that's what we're looking to do. What if someone has never checked out washproduct.com? And maybe they've seen our ads on Facebook, maybe they haven't, and they visit the website when they listen to this. Where is a good place to start for them in terms of getting a good sampling of what we can offer?
Yeah, so when we built the website, and the guys that maintain it right now, especially Adam, he's done a fantastic job. And what our goal is that we all notice that when you go on other competitors' websites, it's very easy to get lost. So we try to make ours very direct, like, boom, this is what you need to do all these things.
Yeah. By way of bundles? Is that
correct? Yeah. We kind of lean towards the bundle thing, and that way you're getting everything that me personally would like to use when I wash a truck or a car or boat, whatever it is. But just keep it simple, right? People want that. They don't want to fuss around with spending 20 minutes navigating through a website and then they got 80 different choices of soaps.
Right.
So to me, it was take the best of the best and bundle them up.
Yeah. The Image bestsellers one is a nice one. I think they're a little bit smaller quantities, but at least will allow you to, at a really affordable price point, to try all of these. And some of them will pique your fancy and some of them you may not love. And then next time you order, you can kind of be more selective in what you're picking.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. And then of course the website, as Todd referred to earlier, is our retail offering. We do offer pro-grade chemicals that are not available on the website at this point. That's kind of what I'm responsible for. So if you get there and you're looking for something a little stronger, just know there's a place on there for you to click. I think it says B2B Solutions or Pro Services or something of that nature. Click there, and we can hook you up with bulk pricing on some of our more aggressive kind of business-to-business element side stuff that if you're going to be washing trucks all day, you're not going to want to be buying this stuff in fives, right? So we have everything on there. We have accessories like brushes. We have some downstream injection systems. Todd pretty much through trial and error figured out a new way to apply soap at high pressure through downstream injection, which means you're saving the life of your pressure washer pump, but also you're still applying the stuff at high pressure, which is nice because it works better.
It's a key element when you're dealing with touchless soaps. Yeah. And it's the high pressure. Yep. Yeah. Most car washes and drive-throus, some do like a pre-soak low pressure. And it works if you are on the right timing. But when you're high pressure and you want to move fast, especially if you're out in the sun or just need to be efficient, right? So to me, it just speeds up the cleaning. a lot more.
That's right. And no matter what industry you're coming from, time is money, of course. So we can help you save time. That's key.
Yep.
And, when you are comparing prices, be sure to look at concentration levels and things of that nature. We sell largely very concentrated products, so it might look a little bit more expensive for a quart of that. But when you realize that we're not shipping you water, that's a nice realization. Then you can start doing the math, and it's quite a value at the end of the day.
Yep. And you've been instrumental, and Mike, and this new sample pack that we have for truck washes or for companies.
Yeah.
What we said is, okay, we got this soap, right? It's really good, but it's got to be diluted at this rate. Well, you have a wash bay or a truck wash. I personally don't know how there's many ways to dilute this stuff. I don't know what your formal use is. So the guys at Image, Kirk and Mike and myself, we made a nice sample pack that basically is ready to use at the recommended dosages. So we're going to send that to you with the pump sprayers, and then it's not 100% going to mimic what you're doing in your wash bay, but
right,
it's going to get you a really close idea what these chemicals do, especially with the polish safe. That's where everybody's like, oh, whatever. I've heard that line before.
Yeah, a lot of people say they have polish safe, and they're streaking aluminum still.
The Beardstown story, that's a great one. So if that guy's listening, I forget his name again.
Denny Moore.
Denny, really...
Straightforward.
And that's what I like. And I remember we went down there. This is down in Illinois. We drove 4.5 hours?
Yeah, it was maybe 5, yeah.
This guy thought we were full of horse manure, but we come down there, and long story short, and as Mike would say, he did not believe us. He said, we're full of cow crap. I'll keep it at that. So he said, well, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So we did. And
it worked.
It worked. And he invited us into his office, and he made sure that we knew that not very many people went in his office. So
yeah. And hey, Denny, if you are watching, come on, hit me back. Let's talk.
Yeah. Come on, Denny. We want to help you out, man.
Yeah. We'd love to put more money where our mouth is.
He's got a sweet operation. So if you're a livestock hauler, what town? Beardstown?
Yeah, Beardstown, which
Illinois,
is
right?
It was west of Springfield, I think, a little bit. Yeah.
But hook up, I think he's by one of the kill plants down there, JBS or something. But
yeah.
Hit that guy up, Denny. Yep.
Beardstown Truck Wash is really nice. He's at 4 bays, I think. Yeah.
Sweet Bay. Yep. So, but yeah, so that's a neat thing is these guys, I don't have to travel. You don't have to travel.
Right.
We're going to be able to at least get them somewhat of a quick demo.
Yeah.
For minimal cost,
right.
And then we can come in there and talk the real stuff.
Yeah, and the last thing we ever want to do is try and unload a bunch of chemical onto you before you're comfortable with it or really confident in it. So that's what we're trying to avoid. We could just drop off totes and say, all right, you owe us this, now good luck, but that's not our game. We want to give you something that's palatable, affordability wise, and you can try it with some pump sprayers. And if you're happy with that first stage, then we start talking business. Okay, how would we apply this in your system? Do you need to add a system, which we offer? Do you need a new pressure washer, which we offer with our partners from Aquablast and Pressure Pro? But yeah, so really now we of course have this deal where we're with Whiting, where we're dealing automated wash bay equipment as well.
Yep.
So moving archways, stationary wash bays, you name it. We're really building our business up to be across the board, full service. Anything related to washing equipment. One-stop shop. That's us.
Yep, that's what we're hoping. And we're trying to build partnerships with great companies.
Yeah.
Of course, there'll always be hiccups along the way, but we will navigate through them.
Yeah.
We're not one-stop and then adios, never see you again type deal. So
that's right.
Yeah. But I believe firmly that the automation that's the direction in the next 10 years for washing.
Yeah, and when things get automated, there's less eyes on it. And so when there's less eyes on it, the chemical becomes increasingly important because you can't just rely on rework by a person. The chemicals have to hit the right spot. They have to work where they hit. And because you're not going to be looking at it, it's going to be pulling out of there. So,
yep. And I can read some of the thoughts of people right now, what they're saying. There is not a good automated drive-through truck wash, and I would wholeheartedly agree with you. So my mission is, there's a lot of variables that go into that, and I have a vision of building one someday. Just don't have the capital to do it right now, but I think it will get there. But yeah, it's very hard to. I always describe when we go into companies that have a drive-through wash bay, it's not on a conveyor, so they cannot control that driver.
Right.
He can follow the blinking lights, but it doesn't matter. He still might not do it the right way.
Yeah.
If he's late for a date,
Right.
he wants to get home to mama, whatever,
Yep.
he's going to roll through there faster than he should, and the wash will not work properly.
That's right.
But it does come down to angles, soap strength, having really good soap. Just those are a lot of key elements. So the automation that we're working with, it's more of a rail system, so the truck parks.
So the truck is stationary. They can't bypass the speed or speed it up because they got to sit there.
Yep, it does its thing. So a typical trailer wash takes like 4.5 minutes, I think. That's a brush, 3-sided brush the roof, back doors, sides, and we'll put a protectant on it too. So to me, that's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, the drive-throughs, touchless. Yeah, they're out there. It's just we think we found the right company. So
yeah,
we're very excited to work with them and to
Definitely.
help grow that on our side too. So
well, yeah, it's been a pleasure working with you. It's been a year and a half, 19 months for me now or so, and I didn't know anything about the trucking world when I started. I still know very little, but I can at least identify a Pete and a Kenworth.
Yeah.
Just for the record, are you a Pete guy or a Kenworth guy?
I've always been a Peterbilt guy.
Why is that? What do you like more about
I
Pete?
just like the style and the shape of it. Kenworths, I love Kenworths too.
Yeah.
But if you had two really nice ones, a Kenworth or a Peterbilt, spec'd out to what I would like done, I would probably choose the Pete.
I think you definitely would.
There's if I don't want to, if I offend you, so be it. But it's just everybody can't like Peterbilts.
No, yeah, this is a raging conversation in the trucking world. The Kenworth,
Pretty
or the
much.
Pete. Yeah.
So it's good fun.
Yeah.
And everybody that likes or dislikes whatever flavor truck they have, it's all comes down to fun in my mind. So
well, talk about the two Pete's that we've got at Image.
Oh yeah, so I have a '88 cab over. It's got 300-some thousand original miles. I bought it. It was in dire need of.
You bought it in the Southwest, right? Or?
Yeah, out of Phoenix, Arizona. It spent its whole life in California. Went back and forth. I think I had like 8 titles when I got it. 8 title receipts, I should say. And it'd go back and forth to Mexico. But it started out in a university, and it was a flatbed. And then it kind of stayed that way its whole life, which is very common out there. Mm-hmm. And then, when I bought it from a guy, he got it from a Peterbilt dealership out there, and they put a service box on it. So this guy I bought it from, he hauled motorcycles around with it. It just sat. But it's never been in a salty conditions.
Yeah.
It has since it's been up here, but not very much.
But it looks a lot different now, though. You did some
It does.
work on it. Yeah.
Refurbished it. You can go on our Instagram or Facebook and see pictures of it.
Yeah.
I think Adam did a nice start to finish video.
Yeah, kind of
of
before and after shots.
Yeah, which was kind of neat. I think he even got a little teary-eyed.
I
when
did
he
too.
Did it, so.
I did too. 'Cause in the background, as the Pete was developing, so too was the business. So I think that's why he was crying as well.
Kind of, yeah.
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 It's like seeing a kid grow up or something.
Yeah. So it is for sale right now by word of mouth. I don't use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to keep it for shows, but at the same time, to me, I don't like seeing stuff sit around.
Especially something that beautiful. You did a great job polishing it. It's like a really nice kind of slightly off-white color. It's just beautiful.
It's like kind of Mercedes-Benz base coat with a pearl in it, metallic. So
yeah, it's clean.
Yeah, a good friend of mine at Icon, he did all the paint work, Ken Rosema. So yeah, it was a fun journey. There's more out there. I'd like to keep doing them. Maybe with my son someday when he gets older. But then probably last summer I bought another one, a 359, a 1983 359 with a friend of mine.
The dying breed.
Yep. So that one is my goal was to do some trucking with it at night. I've done maybe 3-4 trips with it. So yeah.
Yeah.
But to see where it goes. I always wanted to own one, and never. He said I did too, so we did it together and see where it goes.
So yeah, I'd love to have a Kenworth guy on here, and you can tell if you're a Kenworth guy or gal, you can come on here, tell me about why Todd's wrong. But
I'm wrong. I know I will be. If you invite a direct Kenworth fan.
Yeah, of course.
Which
Someday we can do a debate.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ken
it's
Ward
fine.
versus a Pete debate. Yeah.
I don't think it'll be an endless debate because you're just going to go round and round.
We're not changing any minds here.
No,
You
it's
already
just
know.
personal preference.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Well, Todd, this has been super fun for me. I mean, this is a good kickoff to the Keep on Truckin' podcast. Again, if you have any ideas, we're going to keep a good mix here of, some image content, but it's not really what it's about. This one might feel a little bit more like a commercial than the rest of them will. But this is just introducing who we are, But in the future, I envision having people on here that are going to talk. Just if you have a good trucking story or anything like that. There's truckers. You guys listen to a lot of podcasts, and we want to give some content out there while also reminding you to check out washproduct.com, of course. But this is really just about having fun, sharing some stories from the road, and ideally sharing some knowledge and information as well, so that if you're in the washing game specifically, you can pick up some tips from us and hopefully make your business run a little bit better.
Yep, absolutely. If you want to hear one trucking story from me, it came to mind. I would say probably one of my most interesting trips would be I had to go down to Chicago and deliver at I believe it's Sears Tower. And I think I had to deliver around there at 2 a.m. And I did it on a side just to help the guy out. And he said, okay, just go pick this up and take a load of chairs down there or something. So I get down there, and it's downtown. And they have this phone number. It was a Herman Miller load, I believe. And they had the phone number on there, and that number never, ever worked. You always get somebody that don't know anything what you're doing. So anyway, luckily it happened to be the guy who was like, oh yeah, I was planning on you coming. All right, good. Where do I park? He said, okay, tell you this. You're going to come off the highway, off 94 downtown. And he goes, when you get off the exit, you're going to go like 10 blocks and then stop and just park on the road. I'll meet you there. So, all right.
Sounded shady kind of. Right?
Yeah. So anyways, I get down there, and it was, late in the morning. And what happened? Okay, so I was sitting there, and across the street is where they were working out of. So he said, I walked over to the dock there, and the guy came down and met me, and he said, okay, well, so before I went over there, I made sure my truck was locked, because I was always, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I remember... the minute I put the key in the door and I locked it, because it was an older truck, so you had to lock it from the outside. And I heard a snap, and I looked down, and my key cracked in half. So
what now?
I said, well, at least I'm going to go talk to the fella and tell him I'm here, and I'm going to have an issue. So just give me a little bit. The truck is not running either at this point.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, well, there's no spares. So looked in the truck. And luckily, I had it was an older one, so I had a cigarette window. And normally what I do is, just because of previous experiences, I always unlatch that. So for some reason, I couldn't get in. I can at least get in that way. So it worked. I got in. So I'm sitting inside, and I'm like, okay, this guy told me to back in the dock. I have no keys, and here I sit. So I called the mechanic that was on call, and I said, do you know of any spare keys hidden on this truck or anything? Nope, can't help you out. He said, if you need help, we'll have to call a wrecker or something, figure it out. I said, okay. So I sat there for a minute, and then looked around the truck, couldn't find nothing. So what I did was, I looked up above, and I remember when I was younger, my dad, he taught me how to hot wire tractors. And this was an old mechanical engine, C15, I believe it was. So, what I did was I ended up it had a key button and then a push start button. All right. So I knew that all I had to do was get power over to that button, and I could fire it up. So I figured, what am I going to, I have no tools, no wiring. So I look above, and there's a CB radio there. And on the back had 2 wires. And in the trucks there, they have a post for hot and ground. So those wires were like, 8 inches long. So, all right, well, I can take those off and use those. So what I did was I took them off, but only one end was stripped. So I had to figure out how to strip the other end. So I thought, I use my teeth. So I had it in my mouth and pulling. And for some reason I had the key in the keychain or something, and that key that cracked. I was pulling and it slipped and it jammed me right in the forehead.
What a disaster.
And I started having blood's coming down my face. I'm like, oh crap. So I got that under control, and I took the panel off behind the start button, and I ended up wrapping the wire around it, and they had some tape in there, so I could tape it there, and then I jumped it to that button, and I fired up.
See, you could learn how to hotwire trucks from this podcast too.
Yeah. These are an older model, so
yeah.
You didn't hear it from Soap Daddy.
No, that's when in Rome, you're in Chicago, hot wiring is what you do.
You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do, yeah.
So I was able to back it in, and then I didn't have any instruments because no lighting. The only thing that would work was the headlights, obviously.
Yeah.
But no gauge lights, no nothing. But
you made it home though.
Yeah, it wasn't winter, so I didn't need the AC and stuff going. But yeah, it was an interesting. But I was thankful to be around that my dad would show me that, because
yeah, of course.
The owner was like, "Well, I'm gonna have to drive another truck down there, and we gotta bring you more keys and unhook it and all." Yeah.
So keep a spare. That's another. That's
lesson. A very valuable lesson. Yeah. Always have a spare.
Keep a spare, or know how to hotwire.
I have more lockout stories, but I'll save those for the next episode.
That's right. Yeah. So. And Eric Bismack from Countryside. I remember this year at the Richard Crane Memorial, you lost your keys. I believe they were found, but one of the nicest trucks around, clean, image customer. Got to keep those keys, folks.
Oh man, I had the keys, but it snapped on me.
Keep them in good shape, in good condition. Yeah.
It was an old style door latch, and that's common with Peterbilts. Is in the wintertime they get a little crusty. They don't want to turn as good, and I just happened to be the guy that turned a little extra too hard, and it snapped right off. So. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that's trucking. What is this? Stories from the Road, part 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
More to come.
Absolutely. But good times.
Yeah, of course. Yep. Yeah. You look. That's the kind of thing. Yeah, you're dealing with business ups and downs and things like that, but you don't have to deal with that anymore.
No.
Yeah.
No. So.
But yeah, so this has been super fun. Thanks for sharing with us. Thanks for starting Image and for giving us the opportunity to work for you. It's been really fun, and this podcast is going to be even more fun, I think. So
yeah, I appreciate everybody. Couldn't do it without you. And another intricate part is faith in my company. So I can't do it without the Lord, and just have a good time doing it. So
that's right. Yeah, Todd's a super high integrity guy. So that's no doubt because of his upbringing and.
Yep, absolutely. So I got good people that work with me. They all have the same vision, I think. And we're all focusing on getting there, and that's to get a great product out there and to help people.
Yeah.
And to have fun with it too. I get to be around trucks all the time.
We just had a chili cook-off on Friday.
Yeah.
Todd's wife came in as a ringer and won one of the prizes.
Yep. Cheater.
Yeah. Will, our sales guy, won. I brought Wendy's chili and nobody noticed, which is interesting. But
it was phenomenal.
It was pretty good. But I mean, of course it is. They're selling, a million gallons a day of that stuff.
Yep. It's a good way to boost morality and just, camaraderie in the business and stuff.
For sure. That was fun.
Yep. Have a good time. So, But
I'm already thinking I'm going to really participate harder next time. I just got caught up. We had a trade show, just so if you're wondering.
Yeah, and I gave you a little short notice, too. I mean, it was 2.5 weeks.
Nobody else had a hard time putting the chili together. So, but that was good, Todd. But thanks everyone. Keep checking this out. Subscribe. We're going to be issuing clips from today's episode, both in video and audio form. We're just going to do that through our standard Image Wash Products social media. So make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. We do a lot of marketing on there and just a lot of informational material as well. So we appreciate you tuning in, and how we're going to end every episode, of course. Todd, the guest is going to say it.
Keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking. Keep on keeping on, baby.
Yep.
Cheers.
Yep. See ya.